The St George Illawarra Dragons take on the Gold Coast Titans, and do you know what? Up until the point where I saw the team lists, I was having a bit of a crisis over this one because the Titans went close last week. They hung with the Raiders, high-scoring game, and I thought maybe they might pick the Dragons, but then I've had a look at the team list, and it's not pretty viewing. Rain in for Peats. Peachy goes into 13 for Fotuaker. A bit of a change up on the bench as well, as Hipgrave goes to the bench, Furmore into the starting second row, Whitbread comes to the bench as well, and Stone is your other starting second rower. As for the Dragons, no Paul Vaughan this week. He's out. They've welcomed back Jacob Host from suspension as well. No Fuimayona this week. He's out suspended, and Ford as well as Merrin and Ellis and Britton make up the bench. I see the Dragons winning this one. I think there could be a bit of a points void just because of that missing quality from the Titans. When you talk about Fotuaker, he's been incredible for them this season. You know, you got Thompson on the bench as well. Thompson on the wing as well. Don out of the side. You lose a lot of height on the wings when you put in Thompson, especially when he comes up against a side that's got players like Ravalawa and Lomax on that side. And we've seen the Dragons love to go to the sky, especially with Lomax sort of sitting inside. So the Titans are going to have a tough time on the edges here.
Yeah, I'm definitely joining you with that one on the Dragons. Look, I'm not too sure about the Titans lacking some offensive prowess. They still have Brimson and Fogarty who've started to create a fantastic little combination there. Ash Taylor, a lot of pressure's been taken off him. He's had not going to say a great, it's not $1 million a year worthy, but he's having a better last couple of weeks. Yes, they lose Pete's. Mitch Rain comes in, but he's serviceable as a dummy half, decent distribution, handy in defence. Therma, probably more of an impact coming off the bench, but you know we've seen how good he can be in the short time he's been there. But the mobility of the Dragons up front, when you compare it to that of the Titans, when you have Laurie, Kerr, who again, you know, that's for the most part, that's their second string front row, and you know I still have them over Wallace and Jolliffe, although Jolliffe's had a fantastic season. Frizzell and Host against Stone and Therma. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. Cam McInnes, more of an impact player than Tyrone Peachy. And then you look at those backs. Zach Lomax has had a stunning 2020. Ewan Aitkins had a breakout year. Obviously now off to the Warriors in 21. Clune's been fantastic. Norman's been a nice little accompanying piece for everything. Matt Duffy, again, you know, doubting his naysayers in 2020. The RAV4, very close to the top of the try scoring list. Don is a shot of coming back. He wasn't dropped per se, more than injured. They thought he was back last week. Obviously wasn't, so Thompson came in. Dragons all the way for me. In terms of tips, they've currently got the line at 9.5. I don't really know about that one. You know, I would like to see that maybe a couple of points shorter, but the fact of the matter is, for the last five, Dragons have won the last five. For the last five, they've won by 12 or more. The only one that wasn't a 12 plus was 24-16 win September of last year. They played earlier in the season, June 20th, St George up 20-8. So I am going to take the Dragons on that 9.5. Like I said, I prefer it to be a little shorter. You can go alternative and you can go shorter towards maybe a 7.5. But I think the 9.5, you're still getting some handy value at $1.89. Of course, I'm going to go Zach Lomax as an anytime try scorer. There's just no qualms about it. You know I'm going to add it in there. He's a great shot at it this week. And paying $1.83, you know, I mean, it's not amazing value, but it could be, you know, it's worth throwing in a same game multi if you feel ballsy enough to do so. I also want to point out that in 3 of the last 5, the second half has been the highest scoring in Dragons games this year, or at least in the last 5, the first half has been the highest scoring in 4 of the last 5 for the Dragons. As for the Titans, as I very quickly scroll through here, the first half has been the highest scoring that's 3 out of 4 of the last 5. Both sides, the one that wasn't a highest scoring half, it was drawn, first half, second half, both being 20 points. So I'm going to add first half highest scoring on top of the Dragons at 9.5 on the line and a low max anytime try scorer.
Okay then. So I'm going to go Dragons. I'm going to take the line. I'm going to go Dragons on the line. I'm going to go with the Dragons to win either half. And I'm going to finish that one up with Dragons on the race to 20. Just because they have a tendency just to explode out and have like 20 minutes of absolute brilliance before then they open the door and allow the other team back in. So that's my thinking on that one. Just because we've seen it a few times. We saw it last week as well. Dragons were basically holding their own, and then they allowed the other side back in. So yeah, I'm gonna go Dragons race to 20 on that one as well. So I am going to multi that up as well. That's going to be my value multi for the week as well.
Hang on just 1 second. Let me pull out the same game multi. Matthew, right? You've got to give me some notice on this.
I swear to God, if this is like another 525 like last week, me and Sportsbet we're having serious conversations.
Please sponsor us, Sportsbet. All right, Dragons on the 9.5. Now, I will point this one out. The Dragons, you can't add the Dragons win either half on a same game multi for Sportsbet, but you can do Dragons to win both halves. If that
not confident, not confident. Drop it.
Well, the multi, if you're sure that you want to keep it as the value, can only be Dragons 9.5 in the race to 20, and it gives you an amazing $1.95.
I quit. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
Enter technical difficulties here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, single it up then. Just single it up and put a bit of money on it. Then that'll be the only way to go for that one. Then.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah. And with that absolute disappointment, we'll get on to the next one.